Well, welcome to another session with our finance guru, is what I'm going to call you, Dianna Jacobsen from Shine at Business. And we're going to have an exciting session around the magic of figures. Was it the magic of finance? And take it away, Dianna, for this session for us, please.
Thanks very much. Hi, everyone, and thanks so much for the opportunity to come and speak with you. So when we talk finance and money and profit and loss and bank statements and budgets and all those other things, people kind of back away slowly or, doze off. So the most important tool we need in this is this, our magic wand, okay? And the whole idea with this is, what is the goal? What do we want? Where are we heading? We get so embodied and embedded and overwhelmed by the minutiae that we forget what is it that we love to do? Why are we here? Why did we launch into this business or career in the first place? The other thing that gives us lots of energy and dynamism is by the passion for what we do. So again, if we're busy doing the boring stuff and hardly touching the stuff that we love to do, then again, we will be very deflated in energy. If we love what we do, it's easy to get out of bed really early every day and be driven all day and enjoy it and have that energy and that effervescence around that. But if we're dragging ourselves through the day doing all of the crap on our to-do list because it has to be done, then perhaps we need to have a little bit of a revision of who's who in our zoo and why are we doing all of that stuff. So we need the magic wand. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit around how does this help us without it being like silly or Pollyanna or trivializing it or invalidating all of the important stuff that we do need to be mindful of, but also not getting so lost in the wash that we forget why we're here in the first place. So I'm going to share this whiteboard. Let's see that happens. Always great when it works. Fabulous. Okay, so when we wave our magic wand, the whole idea here is that we are remembering what we love. The other stuff's there, that's okay, but why do we love what we do? Because the numbers fall out of that, not we force the numbers. And for anyone that's followed great teachers like Bob Proctor and Wayne Dyer and Abraham Hicks, like listen to Abraham Hicks' YouTubes till you're blue in the face. They're the best things ever. For understanding too much actioning actually prevents the results. It's a balance between inspired action and allowing. And when we are actioning too earnestly, we're actually doing that because we are focusing on what has not transpired or manifested physically yet. And by that, we're really pushing it away because we're not looking at what we're expecting, we're looking at what's not there. So what we want to do is start with a bit of context. We have past, present, and future. And we stand here in the present, and in our humanness, what we do is we keep looking back at what's already happened. And back here in the past, we've all got this tangled mess of our life's experiences, the mistakes we've made, which are just part of our learning journey, right? But health, relationships, jobs, money, whatever it is that we think we've gotten wrong, and we get obsessed by that. We think we have to rehash it and re-narrate it and obsess about it and get back in there and rearrange the pieces and so on and so on. Now, if that was a piece of tangled fishing line, we would not spend days and weeks and months and years mucking around with it. We would cut the line and move on. But no, we get really hung up on it and we look back and we keep doing the same thing and we look back and we do the same thing. And it's because we do not have a picture of what's up front, but we have a clear picture and narrative, often slightly skewed, of what has happened. So what we need to do is cut the bloody fishing line and turn around and face forward. Okay. So what we want to do is get our aforementioned magic wand and decide what is it that I want my life to look like. And yes, this is the Pollyanna part, the fantasy part, the let's be a bit crazy and silly part. Because if we're going to build a house, we don't just get a few truckloads of timber and bricks and doors and stuff put in a pile and suddenly it becomes a house. We have a plan, we have a picture, we kind of know what the house is meant to end up looking like. And yet in our life, we just do the whole pile of building materials and hope for the best, and often go through our whole life without really a plan. And as much as whatever's happening around us, we say, well, that's reality, that's because that's a creation from where your thinking has been thus far. And if you haven't had a plan, then yeah, whatever comes along becomes our reality. So what we want to do is face forward, jump ahead to whatever this magical picture is here, and then come back to today and start taking one little step at a time to what they call backfill the grid, to be what you want to become, and then you'll get there. Now, what we tend to do as humans is we put all of these barriers and obstacles in the way, real or imaginary. So we start out and we say, well, I can't do that because I'm too old or too young or don't have the right education or my mother won't like it or who's going to feed the dog and all this other nonsense. Hence the magic wand to say, let's just imagine for a minute that we don't have to have all of those limiting beliefs, and money is a huge one, and we could step above those. What would this look like? And then we come back and keep making our little day-to-day steps with our decisions in line with this picture. And when I dig down a little bit into that picture with people, I actually end up with a 9-square grid with you in the middle, relationships, children, family and friends, home, hobbies, money, which is all the boring stuff, pay the bills, have the insurance, things like that, your business or career, and contribution, just what is it that we do to help others. And when you've got kids, it's usually just being involved in all of their activities and helping. It could be helping people in your street. It doesn't mean you have to add a whole heap more things. And again, when we dig into that further with the coaching side, we're just looking at some sort of sustainable balance between these different areas of life. Certainly, we're not going to spend 1/9 of our life in each of those areas. It will move and flux as ages and stages and kids' ages and parents' ages and other stuff goes along. But it's about coming back to some semblance of balance, because what happens otherwise, the box in the middle that is us, our life force, gets smaller and smaller and smaller if any of these get too big. And then we feel like we're running on empty. So again, we've got to regroup and say, okay, what do we want life to look like? What needs to fit in there? So it's important that we have a picture, and in this case, a financial goal, and that we've got that magic wand just as a little physical reminder to get out of our own way with the limitations and the excuses. We're not saying they don't exist, but we do get very overwhelmed and overweighted looking at the problems rather than looking at the target or the solutions or the desired outcome. Okay, so we've got our vision board or our goal or our 9-square grid, however we want to do that. Vision boards are great because we can actually see them, relate to them. We end up with some emotional engagement there, and that means a whole lot more than just speaking. The neural pathways and the actual quantum energy that it puts out is around about 1,000 times more if we've written this down, we've got vision boards or pictures, than if we just think it or even just speak it. So it's a really strong and positive exercise to do. Now, we've had a few speakers today talk about energy, and as much as people think that accountants are all about money, this particular accountant is also about the mindset. And as much as they might seem diametrically opposed, they are totally united in how they work. But I pretty much guarantee you that at university, to learn to be an accountant, they won't talk about vibration and energy. So some of our other speakers have talked about energy and how that works, and I very much bring this into any of the frameworks that I help people build. One of the best diagrams that I ever have seen for this, it's also an Abraham Hicks one. Okay, it's a speedo reading. And we end up with around this side when we feel really horrible, suicidal, sad. Around this side when we feel fabulous. And up here is when we just sort of complacent, bored, whatever. And what we do, again, we're talking about money, but it can be anything. We're in this area inside this speedo reading or this barometer. So I have people that come to me about financial or business problems, challenges, wanting to grow their business, and also a lot of damage control and troubleshooting. So their dial's pointing way over here. Okay, they're in not a great spot financially. And what we do as humans is say, because of all of this stuff out here, jobs, other opportunities, the government, money, the bank, the boss, the dog, whatever it might be, health, relationships, all this stuff. So we blame everything outside of ourselves. I go, great, all we've got to do is fix every single other thing and person in the world and we're sorted. Okay, there's a better way. It's very disempowering to feel like we've got no control over all of this stuff coming at us. So what I do then is talk to people about something that I know excites them, whether that's their dog, their garden, their kids or grandkids, their fishing trip, music, all the things that people feel inspired and passionate and creative about. And what I see right before my eyes is their physiology changes. They sit up straight, their eyes sparkle, they stop being the sobbing mess that they're talking about money, and they're animated, telling me about their fishing trip or their camping or their kids or whatever, which is fabulous because their state, their energy, their vibration has changed and they're now over here in a really happy place. And when we're in that kind of vibration, we get a whole lot of different results. That's when we get the green lights and the parking places and the shortest queue at the supermarket, and we find the 5 cents on the footpath. And do not be fooled by that. Do not ever be ungrateful, because what that's saying is you are in a receiving mode and the universe is sending abundance. And amplify and magnify every little bit of gratitude for every little blessing in your day. So when we're in this spot, things just flow. So then I'll say to people, okay, great, let's talk about this money thing. But what happens is when they come back, they'll come back to here. And therefore we can look at it with fresh eyes, we get different results, we can see some different alternatives or put some different systems in place. We are very much taught by our school and social system to stay here, stay worrying about the problem, obsessing about it, thinking about it, and so on, until we fix it. But what that's doing is actually just digging us in. It's like quicksand. You're just going to stay there deeper and deeper and deeper and for longer. You can't sit here in this gloomy place and just go, oh, I'll stick a smile on my face and say some affirmations and I'll lift my vibration. It doesn't happen. You actually have to come over here, shift your state, go for a walk, sing a song, whatever. You know, when you go into the supermarket and if you're not feeling in a great mood and they've got all that really boppy, happy songs on, and it is really annoying when you're in that sort of mood. And that's because it's not calibrating with where you are. But other days you can hear the same songs and it really jazzes you, like you feel really enthusiastic. So that's what you need to do. When you're in that gloomy place, put on some ABBA or whatever it is, let it annoy you until you've recalibrated. Go for a walk, put your feet in the grass, do whatever you need to do to get yourself away from this space. Stop thinking about the thing that drags you down. Go and think about something else. And then when you come back, you will be in a completely different level and you will see some more opportunities that you couldn't for the life of you see before. They weren't there. If you understand quantum physics, it's like we've got parallel realities going on, and wherever we're at is which playing field we land on. I know that sounds really weird, and whether you're into science or theology, it's all the same thing, whether you call it faith or manifesting, quantum physics, putting it out there, it is the same thing. So we do have a lot more empowerment over all this stuff around here on the outside of our world than we think. And we don't ever need to feel disempowered being on that inside place. So then when it comes to financial management, money management, business development, growth, and so on, when we've got this, our money could still be in a poor shape, but we put some systems in place so that our vibration is not down there all the time, which then just creates more of the same. It will create more problems. It will create more hurdles, more things breaking down, more stuff going wrong. So we've got to raise our mindset, raise our money, and they work absolutely in tandem, a little at a time. And one of the tools that I share all the time is to think about who is the wealthy you. And that's this magic wand thing. Who is the wealthy you holistically? Meaning I live where I like, I listen to the music, I can use nice scented hand cream or use a nice teacup or enjoy the music and the people and the things that make me feel joy. That's what holistic wealth is. And the more we do that with all of these sorts of things, the more the other stuff will calibrate to that spot. So we get some guidance with our money, our business, our financial affairs, and we get out of our own way, hence the less actioning, which is this struggle stuff, and the more allowing when we get our thinking straight. And then money, which is a bit like a water level in a bucket, will start staying in the bucket rather than leaking out because we're kind of punching emotional holes in it if we're not in the same level. The water level will calibrate with our relationship to that and our thoughts about that. So kind of some high level weird stuff, but if we tackle all the money stuff without getting that a little bit sorted or even just a little bit of awareness there, then the money stuff, same as health or relationships or anything else, it will just be a struggle. And we might touch our goal, but then we'll fall back because we're not in a place to hold it there. And we can't go too far too fast. We have to just raise the money and the mindset little by little by little. So I'll leave you with that food for thought, and absolutely happy to have a chat or answer any questions. Check out the resources that we have available for more context around that. But just understand that it doesn't have to be all struggle. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share.
Hallelujah. Woohoo.
That was just absolutely excellent. Thank you, Dianna. I just love how you can put it into a visualized approach there. And I'm sure that it works not just for women, for females to take that on board, but males also would appreciate the visual there. Again, thank you for your insights. And I'm looking forward for loads of people to get this information via the recording of this. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.